called This Is Only a Test. I wrote this during the Iraq War. That was a long time ago, but not much has changed. This is only a test. This is the test of the apocalyptic broadcast system. The broadcasters in your area are conducting a test of the apocalyptic broadcast system. This is only a test. Annoying beep. In the event of the real apocalypse, the sound you just heard would be followed by a brief "my bad" from the hopeful president, and you'll have 8 to 10 seconds to say goodbye to your family and loved ones, after which your retinas will be blown out of your skull from the immense brightness of the bombs dropping onto American soil. Then your American body will evaporate into a pile of smoldering American mush from the blasts of the nuclear energy. As the bombs will continue to drop on us, killing Americans, all of our young men and women in limbo in the sands will shoot themselves. All except the pilots. The pilots will live. They will drop every fucking nuclear bomb that we have on the Chinese, the Iraqis, the Koreans, the Russians, and everyone fucking else, because what good is a world without no America? And then our jet pilots will bomb. They'll bomb in the name of their dead fathers, their dead mothers, dead babies, dead wives, dead husbands, dead sisters. They'll bomb for their dead brothers, their dead president and his dead cabinet. They'll bomb for all the dead Americans until there's nothing left to bomb. Then they will fly into each other and kill themselves because there's no world to land on and nothing and no one to go home to. But this is only a test. This has been a test of the apocalyptic broadcast system. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, I'm going to do just a couple more. This is called Red Balloon Heart. This is what I would say to you. These are the letters that would somehow make up my love. These are the sounds that I would cry out belly into the wind to you, that would color outside the lines of my body and find the curves where you begin and where you end. This is my crescendo love. This is the song that I never wrote, but I hear in my head when I remember that it was you who makes music when making love. Black notes climbing the lines of my ribcage staff like a ladder, transcendent scales to my mouth. Tuning forks strike my bones and dance to my vibration hum. This is that song, and the silences of breath sounds between. The rhythm of building and destroying and building again. This is the helium hope that floats my red balloon heart to sky-grabbing hand. That clutches the air for my string. This is my string. Hold it close to your heart and don't let go. I tried the wind, but I prefer you're safe. You save me every second you know me, just by knowing me how you do. Pull me closer, love. Release my air into your mouth and fill up your chest with my love. Make your voice a few octaves higher with my exhale. Inhale, don't fail me now, love. Sing a high-pitched song, so high that dogs perk their ears up and know that you are calling me home. Thank you. This is called Into Stillness. And I was on a kayak by myself in Mexico, in the ocean, and I had this moment where I sort of met God. This is about that. Alone, I paddled out to where blue becomes deeper and reflective tints of sunlight dance among waves, where splashing drops of ocean nourish the glimmering gold of my bare skin. Oar in hand, weapon of wave gliding, riding high upon the strength of solitary self under sun and sky. There, floating, finally, the internal symphony of I. The realization of the golden strand which resonates from my being, once blocked from both sides, hell and heaven, now free in the sea. On the flotation device of my soul, the anchor of my unfolding spirit, necessary in its heaviness and gravity at one time, now reflects upwards as an arrow into the sky, propelling my beauty to the stars that I call home. Alone, I gripped tightly my rod of winged freedom and caressed each crest of wave and wind that guided me. Single traveler on unbroken horizon of ocean, stride by glorious stride, until the silence of oneness stopped me, and I was frozen in communion with the universe. I lay, naked soul, across the bow of bobbing kayak, my transformed body a sacrifice to the ocean above and the ocean below, a purging of all that does not serve the striving of my heart, the ever-pulling force of my oars to soar, to transform into the wings of a phoenix, rising from fire and water into flight, from darkness of unknown to realization of light. I flew into waves and crashed through into stillness, into the calmness of cosmos within, cosmos eternal, and infinity in every drop of ocean and glimmer of light prismatic circling me, alone, all one, alone, all one. I am one with reflections, with light dancing, with sunset, with waves, with wind, with the stillness of God inside me. Alone on a solitary boat floating high, Fiji fire in my eyes, erupting through my fingers, pulsating through thick arms and thighs, pushing and pulling God and sky and sea to finally reveal the stillness and beauty of me. Thank you. This one's called Trying to be a Slam Poet. I went to my first slam last, I don't know when, a couple months ago. And it's really hard to get up there and slam your heart out, and it was hard. So I wrote this poem, Trying to be a Slam Poet. Let me start this again. Why am I trying so hard to find rhythms and rhymes that aren't even mine and speak in those inappropriate enunciations of words that are not supposed to be pounded down so I can just sound more like a slam poet? Just so I can scream and the world can know it. Rush and rush tornado of mouth like I have some tirade to unveil. But my words flow like water, trickle smoothly over the stones on my tongue, glide through the reeds of my teeth, and make songs. I am going about this all wrong. I don't need to write anything that is not a vibration of my heart. I don't need to try to be anyone else. There are plenty of other people doing that. There are plenty of poets screaming sounds into the sky about what is wrong with everything, about how devastating everything is, about the shrapnel slicing families, about the horrors of racism, the injustice of young rape, the death of a world that we cannot escape. But there are few who write those images and also give hope. There are few that use their words like a lit candle in a darkened room. There are few that open up consciousness like a mouth, catching stars as they fall. I don't want my words to slam. I want them to rise. Thank you.
Bravo. Beautiful.
Okay, this one's called Deconstruction. Deconstruction lies only in the true breakdown of that which constructs the psyche and the spirit, those rods and ropes and pulleys and stones that build a soul through experience, to reflect upon the why of who you really are, to reflect upon the chaos that most likely breeds more chaos in us unless it is identified and released from within, to reflect upon the prototypes and archetypes that build us up from baby, the patterns that we fall into by default, to reflect upon the amalgamation of all moments and life that construct the now. You must undo every nail and screw, untie every lie and truth, and scrutinize with objective eye every action, reaction, attraction, and distraction that leads your heart and mind astray, away from the center of the pure and absolute form, the true and quintessential you. Break down the walls from the shame and frame of your bones. Leave no stone unturned until there is nothing but light, blinding, penetrating, radiating, illuminating light. Deconstruction of the wall of untruth and ego that shrouds each man and veils each woman is the only way that our culture, our humanity, our world can rebuild and survive. Thank you.
See how this works? Look, we take the money, we put it in the hat.